Assalamu alaikum. Today is our second theory lecture. So let's start. Last time in our lecture we study about analog systems, digital systems, and the benefits of digital communication, and we also studied about different elements of digital systems and the designing of digital communication system. So in that we see that analog was the old mean of communication, while in digital communication we have a lot of benefits. Some of the benefits were easy to design, and assembling was also easy, and there was less errors in those digital design. So today we will move forward and we will talk about the logic gates. Before logic gates, you remember we also studied about the digital logic, which was implementing complicated problems within the digital systems. That was digital logic. So today we will start from the logic gates, that what are the logic gates, why we use them, and how they perform the functions in different systems. So actually logic gates are small digital electronic devices. In our DLD lab, I showed you one IC, that black color IC, and I told you that there are gates inside that IC. So that black IC is actually a digital component. Why? Because different types of gates were designed in that IC. So logic gates are small digital electronic devices that perform different types of functions, and one by one we will study about those functions. But the main thing is they will only work in the form of 0 and 1, or you can say true or false. So there will be only two conditions. It will be 1 that will be considered as a true, or it will be 0 that falls into the false category. So based on the logical gates, the logical operation differs and the output varies. So we have to play with only 0 and 1. Inputs will be 0 and 1, and output will also be in the form of true or false. No matter how big is the device, digital device, or how small is the device, whatever we are doing function in that device, the answers will be, and input will be always in the form of 0 or 1, or true or false. Each logic gate follows a truth table that gives the possible combinations of input and representative obtained output. So in logic gates there will be different types of gate, and each gate will have their own type of tables, and what their tables will show, those tables will guide us that which type of gate we have to use. If we use one kind of gate, then the output will be this, and second type of gate will be different output. So as per their outputs we will see our requirement, and for those requirements we will use these different type of gates. So what are gates? Gates are simply the types of tables or calculations which take inputs in the form of 0 and 1 and also give output in the form of 0 or 1, or true or false. So before we go towards gates, I think first of all we should have some idea about that technology from which these gates are made. So that technology is actually nanotechnology, and the ICs nowadays in all type of digital components in our mobile phones, laptops, everywhere, the ICs those we are using are actually designed on the basis of nanotechnology. Nanotechnology means that we can microscope the resistor or the circuit into hundreds or thousands of billions time. So here in the picture you can see, like in 1950s there was only a one transistor on a silicon chip, but as the time passes it increases from 1 to 16, then 4000, then thousands to it start from 32-bit 1980s, and finally in 2000 now you can put billions of transistors on a single chip. So that is called nanotechnology. Because gates are very small, they are also in nano scale, we can't see from our naked eye. So that's why nanotechnology is used to manufacture those gates inside the chip. In order to understand more clearly about this, let's talk about importance of logic gates. Importance of logic gate we will study later. First, because we talk about IC and nanotechnology, I gave you an example of two nanotechnologies. These two examples are the most latest technology or trends that are going in research and development of nanotech. The first one is the you can say VR lens. What are VR lens? Actually, nanotech could end up by providing a solution to the need for bulky headsets in virtual reality environments, and the answer resolves contact lenses. In the picture you can see there's a human eye, and inside that there is a lens which consists of an outer filter, central filter and contact lenses. Inside these filters there are actually nano circuit. What these circuits are doing? If you see sometimes we see fiction movies, what happen in that fiction movies, they are using some microscopic type of glasses or lens where they can see their microscopic view, or they can also see like Google Maps from there. So those are all nanotechnology. These are nowadays also used in VR technology, virtual reality. If you want to play some video game or virtual reality game, then you have to wear a bulky type of headsets in order to play that 3D or VR game. But with the help of nanotechnology, we can develop a lens or a contact lens that have many layers, and they have also circuits inside that, and they will also perform the same function those bulky headsets are performing. So this is the advantage of nanotech. Second innovation is the creating biodegradable electrodes. What are these electrodes? Actually, in electronics field, electrodes are some type of electrode devices are those devices which are very small in size, in nanoscale. It is more than smaller the size of a medicine or a capsule or a tablet. So on the left picture here you can see this is a biodegradable electrode, and this is such a small in size that even in a single capsule you can place few of them, and after human swallow them, they will go inside their stomach and they can remain inside stomach without digest into with our food. And from where they will get charging? These nanocircuits will get charging from the nutrients, from our food, from different type of food. There is a whole chart that how much energy they can get from the citric, how much from the carbohydrates, from the proteins. They can get energy from different type of foods or energy we are taking. So what will be the work of this nanotechnology or these electrodes? They will help us to fight against disease and viruses. So no need to take medicines or vaccines in the future. These electrodes will be used, and they are such a small in size that they can also circulate in your blood vessels, and they can also give you reports about your body or your health on the real time. So these are some of the innovations nowadays or trends which are working on research and development of nanotechnology. So now you understand how important is this nanotechnology, and Now we come towards the logic gates, because logic gates are also one of the best example of this nanotechnology. The ICs I showed you that were in black color, those are actually you can say not too much that nanotechnology. They are on like micro technology, because those ICs we can see that one IC is one gate. Maybe inside that there are many basic gates, but those ICs are micro technology. In nanotechnology, those ICs will become more smaller, and the examples are your mobile phones, because in your mobile phone there are millions of transistors, and those transistors and memory units are actually all the gates. Because what is a memory card? If you see your small memory card, 32 GB or even 1T, 20T memory cards, those are very small. What is inside those memory cards? All these logic gates are there. How? Because these logic gates will make flip-flops, and those flip-flops will make registers, and those registers will make these memories. So logic gates are the best examples for the nanotechnology. No matter we are making contact lenses, we are making electrodes, we are making any type of nanotechnology device, whatever we are making, but we are using logic gates in that. So what are the importance of these logic gates that we are using? Let's see one by one. The first one is the most of the electronic devices or circuits that we use in our routine life constitute logic gates. That already we know. Every digital device of present generation like a laptop, computer, tablet and mobile phone use logic gates. For instance, let us consider computer memory. So here they are also giving the example of computer memory, because memory is actually made of logic gates, because a few logic gates will make a flip-flop, bunch of flip-flops will make the registers, and a bunch of registers will make memory. So our hard drives, our memory cards, mobile memories, so all these are logic gates. Third one is logic gates have the functionality of storing the data, and hence they are combined to form a latch circuit, and when driven by a clock signal gives rise to flip-flops. So flip-flops are made, after that registers will made and memory. They are known as sequential logic or combination logic, and are responsible for the speed and complexity. So one of the important or good point for digital communication, positive point was that in analog system it was very complicated if you want to design a device for some specific task. But in digital communication it's very fast, easy and less complex to design those type of devices. Now the fifth one is an advanced version. Tri-state logic gate finds a place in CPU and buses to perform multiple operations and support plug-in too. So like logic gates are used in the memories, but nowadays tri-state logic gates are also used in the CPUs, our CPU central processing unit in our computer, for the communication in the buses. What are buses? Buses are actually the cables. Even you can see the cables, those physical cables or the cables drawn on the circuit. All the these type of lines, if you see some circuits of your mobile or laptop, you will see a circuit board and lines drawn on that. Those lines are actually called buses, because bus work is to transport people from one place to another. So in electronic devices, these buses work is to transfer the data. At present, CMOS is developing technology in microchip development, where logic gates are the basic functional blocks. CMOS is also one of the technology, and we no need to go deep inside CMOS technology, because this is when you design logic gates. So we design it with different type of you can say techniques, designing techniques. So CMOS is actually the latest, or you can say one of the best designing techniques for the digital logic gates. Technical microprocessors used in logic circuits consist of more than 100 billion gates. When we have a lot of registers, they make a memory, and when that memory keep on increasing, it will make a microprocessor. So nowadays, if you go back 30 to 50 years ago, there were very big computers and microprocessors, but now you can put a microprocessor on your fingertip, and indirectly you can say that hundreds of millions of gates or transistors are on your fingertip because of this gates, logic gates and nanotechnology. So these were some of the advantages or importance of logic gates. Now you know what is nanotechnology and what are the gates. Okay, now we move towards the ancient logic and binary, how these logic gates were started. And I think this video will be quite long, so from this ancient logic binary we will do our second part of the video. Thank you.